برحب فيكم بحلقة جديدة من برنامج مجلات دوت كوم، مجلة عربية وعالمية والعديد من المواضيع الشيقة رح نتصفحها سوا من خلال المجلات اللي اخترنا لكم إياها لهالحلقة.
في هذه الحلقة من مجلات دوت كوم: مجلة GMR، مجلة هيا، مجلة أوتوكار، موقع StumbleUpon الإلكتروني، ومجلة كوندي ناست ترافيلر العالمية.
بنبدأ مع مجلة GMR ومع أهم مواضيعها لعدد أبريل.
في عناوين مجلة GMR: العلامات التجارية تجتمع تحت قبة قطاع الأعراس، التباس بين الفئات في مهرجان لينكس 2012، قصص خالدة تحكى في قطاع الساعات والمجوهرات.
أكثر من 700 مليون دولار قيمة الإنفاق المتوقعة سنوياً بقطاع الأعراس بمنطقة الخليج. هالشي بيجعل هالقطاع هدف رئيسي لدى مختلف الماركات العالمية، وأكثر من 60% من الراغبين بالزواج بيعتمدوا على وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي لتنسيق أعراسهم. هيدا كان موضوع الغلاف لمجلة GMR، واللي رح نستضيف رئيسة تحرير شيفان آدامز لتعرفنا أكثر على هالموضوع ونتعرف سوا على مجلة GMR بشكل عام. شيفان, you're most welcome to the set of مجلات.com.
I'm delighted to be here. Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure. Shivon, for those who would like to know more about GMR, its mission, how would you introduce the magazine to them?
Well, I would introduce it as one of the most established and oldest business magazines in the Gulf. We've just celebrated our 19th birthday, actually.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, in March. And we launched in London in 1993, which was 2 years after NBC actually launched in London as well. So we have that shared heritage. And in those days, the business magazines that were here focused very much on infrastructure, obviously. Oil, construction, desalination, those big projects, businesses. And there wasn't very much, if anything, that focused on the consumer and marketing. And, you know, even then there were some fabulous local brands such as Almarai, Ojan, and also the big agencies were here as well, but there was nothing to service them.
It was actually the booming of the agencies in media and advertising and PR.
That's right, yes, that's true.
The marketing, media and advertising industries have a world of their own. It's an ecosystem by its own.
True.
What is the role of publications like GMR in the knowledge exchange and the thought leadership of this industry, of the media, marketing and advertising industry?
In the earlier days, we focused very much on the agencies. But these days now, we've switched our focus completely on GMR, and we're very much focused on the client and the consumer and the relationship between the client and the consumer, or the brand and the consumer, if I may put it that way. So we look at how a consumer behaves, reacts and feels, and we try and provide that information to the brand owner so they can connect more closely with their consumers and perhaps connect more closely on a sustainable level as well. So we're very much the marketeers magazine, whereas the other titles, I think, focus more on the agencies. And there's a lot to write about agencies as well, obviously.
We will move now to the content of GMR for April 2012. The cover story is the bridal attraction for 2012.
Right, yes.
What are the main features of this article or this report?
This is a very unromantic look at weddings, to be honest. It's a commercial look at weddings. We team up with Effective Measure, online measurement company, and we do research into brides and brides-to-be, what their attitudes are, their media consumption habits. And what we try to demonstrate with this article is that brands, whether they're cars or cornflakes, a brand can get invited to the wedding if they help the bride on the day and relieve some of the pressure, because it's one of the most pressurized occasions for her and her family.
Are there any numbers or figures that this report gave you in the consumption, in the interest of brides, how they prepare for their weddings, how they interact with the brands?
Through our research, which we have called Bridal Attraction with Effective Measure, we found that they look for quality first. Quality overwhelmingly is what they focus on. We were quite surprised to see that social media didn't play as big a role as we thought, nor did word-of-mouth recommendations, but online wedding sites are gathering more interest sites like YTME, Net, you know, but bridal magazines are also still very much a source of information for brides.
Is there any difference between the countries? Like you cover the whole Arab world, but you have the Saudi Arabia, which is a big market, you have the United Arab Emirates, you have the Middle East or the Levant, you have North Africa. In this study, do you differentiate between the countries, the practices, the interests of the brides or the couples who are preparing for their weddings? And after your answer, I would like to go with you a little bit through some numbers that I personally read in this magazine.
Okay.
And they are very interesting numbers. So about the coverage, the geographical coverage.
Okay, well, I mean, the research that we did with Effective Measure was very much focusing on the UAE and Saudi. And of course, the UAE offers a more diverse consumer base than Saudi Arabia. But it was really among Arabic brides. So there wasn't a huge difference, really, from that perspective.
But there's a huge difference that I see here between the United States and the Arab world.
Oh,
they spend
yes.
$20,000 in average, while we spend 82. It's like more than 4 times the spending on weddings.
Some wedding planners report that $200,000 is closer to the
an
mark.
average.
Yes.
It's a fortune.
Yes.
That means the couples, they save a lot of money and they spend it. And this is a fiesta for the brands and for the wedding organizers.
Well, it is, absolutely. And part of that is driven by larger families as well. And part of it is driven by the need to express your status and
your social status, the importance of the family,
etc. And I suppose, unlike other areas in the world, the wedding party is very much where people get to meet other people in a more social situation, which in conservative countries is less available to them to meet, if you
Yes,
you know
yes,
what I
of
mean
course.
there, of course. Yeah.
How difficult, Shivon, is to find innovative articles and subjects? Now we have the digital era where any new topic, any new subjects, the blogs, everything is overconsumed. How do you face this challenge? Although you are a specialized magazine, how do you see this challenge with the multitude of publications, whether specialized or online magazines?
Well, you know, Antonio, we live in the Middle East, so we're never short of events to report upon, whether good or bad. And whatever those events are, those issues, they will always impact a consumer. And through that, their relationship with a brand. People in Tahrir Square or Times Square, despite all their concerns, they still eat, they still drink, they still do their laundry. And they will make a choice as to which drink they will have, Coke, Pepsi, Persil or Ariel. People make a brand choice. And so there's always an influence that could reshape or change that choice. And we look at the reasons behind that. In a way, it's like the backstory of marketing, I guess. So there's always, oh gosh, there's always so much to write about.
A lot of stories, stories never end, and they generate more stories.
Yes, as a matter of fact, storytelling now, as you know, is the current buzzword in marketing.
Even for business development, storytelling is what makes things happen. We will continue our interview. We'll move to a small report that we will share with our audience. We have an interesting page of statistics in this report. 9.5% spend more than $100,000 on their weddings. Through this study, which type of brands, which type of products are highly seeken by brides or newlywed couples?
Well, there's always the usual brands that one would associate, you know, jewellery, flowers, venues, honeymoons. But as our article tried to demonstrate, if you can help a bride during this really stressful time in the run-up to her wedding, then you'll be welcome. So if you could be a slimming product, you know, as I said earlier, I said from cars to cornflakes. You could be an auto company. A lot of auto companies are paying special attention to the bride. Retailers, there's many things, many brands that can help.
We always talk about the brides, although the groom usually is the one who spends the money.
We do.
And there is a change in the man's general consumption behavior worldwide, with the new rapport with the brands and the fashion and even the intervention in the preparation of the weddings. Does the groom have any role in this important event in their
Well,
life?
I feel slightly embarrassed now to say that we haven't actually considered the groom very much in this study, I'm afraid. Not at all, to be honest.
Only for payment, only to pay and to support the choices of the...
So you've raised a very good point, and maybe that's something we should look at more closely in the future.
Well, this is why, you know, the interviews and the discussions, they open, you know, they open the doors for future
Absolutely.
studies. For future
so
studies.
I shall bear that in mind the next time.
And next time we'll have the pleasure to have an interview with you and discuss this topic. Maybe there's a change in the behavior of the consumer. We'll move now to another topic that also GMR raised, and it's about the jewelry and the watches.
هذه بعض عناوين هذا المقال. في الأزمات الاقتصادية تبقى الأصالة والتاريخ حصانة قطاع المجوهرات والساعات من وجهة نظر رايان هاريسون. ارتفاع أسعار الذهب أحبط جزءاً من تفاؤل صناع الساعات والمجوهرات، وذلك من وجهة نظر رايان هاريسون. إنه الوقت الأنسب لجذب المستهلك الآسيوي. وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي لم تنجح بعد في إغراء معظم الماركات العالمية الفاخرة. إنه الوقت الغير مناسب لبريق الساعات الفاخرة جداً. الإمارات تطيح بتصنيف السعودية كأكثر بلد في المنطقة ينفق في قطاع الساعات والمجوهرات. الألماس بدأ يفقد بريقه عند المستهلك السعودي بينما يسطع لمعان الذهب.
Well, it's a huge sector in the Middle East, as you know. 81% of the market actually is watches and the rest is jewellery, and most of that is gold. And we were looking again at the reasons why consumers buy, what makes them buy. And one of the things we looked at particularly actually was the influence and the impact of the Chinese consumer, which, as you know, throughout our malls here in Dubai are very, very important consumers right now.
Yes, a big tourist
It's a
community
huge, absolutely.
of Far East Asians. But there are a lot of publications who deal or who are specialists in the jewelry and the watches. Why did you choose this topic, and what does GMR bring as a new or a different aspect of tackling this topic?
Yes, you're right, Antonio. There are a lot of publications that look at this very gorgeous sector, and they do a great job, and they tend to be more descriptive, whereas we tend to look, again, as I say, at the backstory. So why would a person choose one brand over another? What are the current trends that are influencing the marketing strategy to reach those consumers? And we've discovered in our last issue that the storytelling, again, the story of the brand has become very, very important, the brand heritage, because people are, in these days, although they have money, they're more cautious and they want to make an investment.
Jewelry and watches are an investment.
Absolutely.
Not only pieces of jewelry to wear, they are investments and long-term investments.
Exactly. So the shift has moved slightly in recent years from what we would call the badging to the investment angle as well. So telling that story about a brand heritage has become very important.
We will move to a different topic, since you are an expert in the marketing and the media. In spite of the exponential growth in digital media, the print magazines are still showing a growth by themselves, an important part in the media scene. What do you see as a big challenge for the print magazines to keep up with the digital media?
I might look at that slightly differently, if I may. I think digital media is everywhere. It's very, very important, especially to younger consumers coming up through the ranks who will probably not have read magazines and newspapers the way you and I did, and will have watched TV on various other devices, not just a television in their parents' house or whatever. But to monetize that is still an issue. I know it's a huge, huge wave that's happening, but the advertising spend in it is still quite low, and to find a way to monetize online is still a problem. Even Rupert Murdoch with News International, when he introduced a paywall for the New York Times and other titles, people just stopped clicking on because they had become used to clicking on for free. So I think they have an issue to monetize. As for magazines, yes, it is something that we all have to consider. But maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I still love a glossy magazine where you feel the paper and you can read it at your leisure. And
that's
I think
true. Everything has its own charm.
Absolutely.
The magazine, the paper, the coziness that it has is different than the digital.
Yes, and it's our habits. Our habits are deeply ingrained whether we know it or not. So we have a habit where we might have our magazine in our coffee at the weekend or whatever.
That's true.
You know, so there's still a role for magazines, absolutely, and I hope for a long time to come. Having said that, I should mention that GMR does also have a website, which we're relaunching very soon and will be much more news-driven than the magazine. So GMR's there too.
Are there any other
digital
topics in GMR April issue that you'd like to share with us or highlight for our viewers to have an idea?
Well, no, I think the watch one was very interesting, and I would really recommend reading that. Well, I thought that was very well put together, and I think our bridal one, as you mentioned, is very insightful. We also looked at the Links Awards, Advertising Creative Awards. We looked at some of the issues that came from that, and again, we have some very forthright and I think constructive comments. So. Yeah, that would be it, really.
Well, Sheivan, it was a very wealthy discussion. Thank you so much for being with us, and we hope to see you in other episodes and other issues of GMR. It's also a very interesting magazine, even for those who are not in the marketing and the media industry or environment.
Well, that's very kind of you to say so. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
لينكس أووردز حدث بتنتظر شركات الإعلانات لتثبت صدارتها وتتفوق على منافسيها. كواليس وخلفيات هالجوائز بنتعرف عليها بهالتقرير.
يعتبر مهرجان دبي الدولي للدعاية والإعلان ملتقى الشرق الأوسط وشمال أفريقيا في مجال الدعاية والاتصال، وهو جزء من مهرجان كان لايونز الدولي. في دورته الخامسة وعلى مدى 2.5 يوم شهد المهرجان هذا العام مجموعة من المحاضرات وورشات العمل التي قدمها مجموعة من المتحدثين عالجوا من خلالها التحديات والمعوقات التي تواجه قطاع الإعلان. أكثر من 1500 شخص حضروا الحفل الختامي الذي وزع خلاله 188 جائزة تقاسمتها شركات الإعلانات في مختلف الفئات، وحصدت شركة ليو برنت اللبنانية وشركة Y&R الإماراتية جائزة المهرجان الخاصة وتوجوا بلقب شركة العام.
أنا رح كمل أتصفح GMR وبترككم مع فاصل سريع، ما تتركونا. مع فقرة الصحف الإلكترونية منتابع حلقتنا. موقع StumbleUpon بيجمع كل شيء جديد بعالم الإنترنت وبيساعد متصفحينه على اكتشاف مواقع إلكترونية وفيديوهات وصور بطريقة سهلة وسريعة. هو أشبه بخريطة بترشدك إلى كل شيء بتبحث عنه على الإنترنت وبتحب تتعرف عليه. خلونا نتصفحوا سوا وأنا أكيد حتتابعوا StumbleUpon على طول.
Hi, we're StumbleUpon. We help you easily discover new and interesting things from every corner of the web. Tell us what you like, and we'll show you page after page of unique content related to your interests. See fascinating web pages, photos, videos, and much more when you click the Stumble button. On every visit, we'll surprise you with stuff recommended by people you follow, or StumbleUpon members who share your interests or passions. We learn what you like so we can show you better and better stuff as you go. You never know where the next stumble will take you. It's like exploring a web created just for you. Check out StumbleUpon.com today. StumbleUpon. Explore more.
وصلنا هلأ لفقرة مشاهير. من مجلة هيا اخترنا لكم محتوى هالفقرة، ومنبلشها مع لقاء خاص مع الممثلة الإيطالية مونيكا بيلوتشي، وبتحكي فيه عن تعاونها مع كارتيه وقديش هي سعيدة وبتتشرف إنه تكون سفيرة لكارتيه. أنا بعتبر كمان إنه كارتيه محظوظ كتير إنه تكون مونيكا بيلوتشي سفيرته. هي عم تتحضر مونيكا بيلوتشي لتجسد دور امرأة إيطالية غريبة الأطوار بفيلم كوميدي فرنسي بعنوان دي جان كي سامبراس، وبذكر إنه هي متزوجة لممثل فرنسي. وبعد زيارتها لدبي ولقاءها مع السيدات العربيات، بتحكي مونيكا بيلوتشي إنه المرأة العربية أبهرتها واكتشفت قديش هالمرأة ذكية وجميلة وبتحب الحياة. بتحكي كمان عن علاقتها بابنتيها وكيف الأمومة أضافت لحياتها طعم مختلف. مننتقل للمشاهير العرب. منبلش مع الممثلة المصرية منى زكي واللي بلشت تصوير مسلسل كرتوني بعنوان عروس البحر، سيناريو وحوار أحمد صبحي ومن إخراج أحمد المهدي. وتعتبر منى زكي تجربتها بهالعمل اللي بتقدم فيه تقنية 3D هي تجربة جديدة لها. ومنتابع مع أحمد حلمي يلي هو زوجة لمنى زكي واللي عقد جلسات عمل مع السيناريست تامر إبراهيم للاتفاق على تفاصيل فيلمه الجديد واللي رح يحمل عنوان شوكولاتة بيضاء، واللي بيعتبره كمان مفاجأة للجمهور. أما نانسي عجرم اللي عطول أخبارها متلي المجلات شاركت بافتتاح فعاليات مهرجان مسقط السينمائي الدولي بسلطنة عمان، ومشيت على السجادة الحمراء برفقة زوجها طبيب الأسنان فادي هاشم، وهي المرة الأولى اللي بيظهر فيها زوجها الدكتور فادي هاشم معها بمناسبة رسمية. أخيراً نكون مع ليلى علوي واللي رح تشارك ببطولة مسلسل الحملة الفرنسية على مصر، وهو يعتبر العمل الأضخم إنتاجياً على مستوى الوطن العربي لأنه بلغت ميزانيته 7 مليون دولار ورح يعرض برمضان المقبل. مننهي الفقرة مع فقرة مشاهير مع موضوع تناولته مجلة هيا حول النجوم العالميين اللي ورثوا الفن عن أهاليهم.
ورث بعض الأبناء مواهب فنية عن أهاليهم فاختاروا السير على خطاهم، في حين لا يزال بعضهم في مرحلة تأسيس مستقبله المهني، تألق البعض الآخر وتخطت شهرته شهرة ذويه بأشواط. الممثلة ليف تايلور تأثرت كثيراً بوالدها وورثت عن والدتها مقومات الجمال التي أدخلتها عالم الأزياء، ومنه انتقلت إلى عالم التمثيل. أما الممثلة كيت هاتسون ابنة الممثل بيل هاتسون والممثلة جولدي هون، فكان لوالدتها الأثر الأكبر في حبها للتمثيل التي احترفته في بداية العام 2000. إيفا أموري والبالغة من العمر 27 عام هي ابنة المخرج الإيطالي فرانكو أموري والممثلة الأمريكية سوزان سارندن، فهي ترعرعت في كنف عائلة هوليودية ما دفعها للمشاركة في أدوار تمثيلية منذ أن كانت في 7 من عمرها. أما نيكول ريتشي فهي ابنة الموسيقي بيتر إسكافيدو الذي تخلى عنها حين كانت صغيرة، فتولى المغني ليونيل ريتشي تربيتها. تأثرت نيكول بموهبة ليونيل واحترفت التمثيل وعرض الأزياء. يبدو واضحاً أن رومر ويلس تصعد سلم النجاح درجة درجة، سائرة على خطى والديها بروس ويلس وديمي مور، وقد بدأت تتألق في عدد من الأفلام. أما أنجلينا جولي فقد ورثت موهبة التمثيل بالجينات من والدها جون فوت، فهي لم تشأ يوماً أن يرتبط اسمها به كي لا يقال أنها استغلته لتشتهر. فضلاً عن ذلك لم تكن العلاقة بين الأب وابنته وطيدة. نختم مشاهيرنا مع غوينيث بالترو ابنة المنتج بروس والترو والممثلة بليث دانر، والتي اكتشفت شغفها بالتمثيل بعد أن شاركت والدتها في مسرحية بيكنيك على مسرح ويليامستون، فتركت الجامعة واحترفت التمثيل.
رح استغل الفاصل السريع لتابع قراءة مجلة هيا، وانتم خليكن معنا. منتابع حلقتنا مع مجلة أوتوكار وأهم عناوينها لعدد أبريل.
في عناوين مجلة أوتوكار: أستون مارتن 177 سيارة ل 2.3 مليون دولار، سيارة بنتلي تتزحلق على الجليد، رولز رويس غوست عالم آخر، سباق للعسكر ضمن فعاليات ريس تو ريكفري، بطولة الكارتدروم في دبي، وفعاليات سباق الإمارات الوطني في يومه الثامن.
بنبدأ مع السيارة الأغلى أستون مارتن 177 اللي راح يخبرنا عنها رئيس تحرير مجلة أوتوكار داميان ريد. Damian, you're most welcome to our show.
It's an absolute pleasure, thank you.
We have a great collection of top-notch car models and car brands in this issue. Let us start with the Aston Martin. What makes this car a multi-million-dollar car, and what are the special features, please?
I guess we're lucky to get our hands on this car because what makes this car so special is that there's only 77 of them will ever be produced, and they're absolute bespoke cars made for each individual customer. $2.3 million is the price of the car, so twice the price of a Bugatti Veyron. Very, very special car. Each car handmade using technologies that you only find in Formula One and in the aerospace industry to construct the car. Hand-built car, and you'll never see them again. There's not going to be another one next year. That's it. 77.
Is it the most expensive car in the world, or it's the most expensive car in this brand, in Aston Martin?
It would have to be the most expensive car in the world, for sure. I mean, in terms of a car that you can go in and order rather than build and modify and do everything else yourself. But yeah, to go and just to say, I want to buy a car, this is the most expensive car in the world.
What is so revolutionary about this car? Like all magazines will compete to cover this story. Tell us a little bit, what is so special about it to make it so expensive? Of course, there are a lot of technicalities that car lovers would like to know. And more, we would like to know, how do you differentiate yourselves in covering such a story?
I guess we were very lucky to get our hands on the car because the car has not been made available to the press. And even still, we weren't allowed to drive the car. We're only allowed to be a passenger in it. So incredibly lucky just to even get our hands on the car. I guess the thing that makes it so special compared to your run-of-the-mill supercar is the fact that it uses, as I said, uses a lot of technology from Formula One or motor racing. The front suspension the shock absorbers are longitudinal. So makes the car a lot lower, and also it gives it much better aerodynamics because of the lower front end. Things like the aluminium bonded panels. They're bonded to the carbon fibre chassis in the same way that Airbus use for their planes. So it's a very high-tech structure. It's a full carbon fibre, what they call a monocoque, which is just a complete tub, basically the safest tub you can get, the safest
so they're
safety cell.
applying aviation technology to the car. This is what might make it so expensive.
Absolutely.
And different.
Yeah.
The manufacturers usually, when they have a new car that they want to advertise and attract the audience to it, they will contact the media and the journalists. Were you contacted by the manufacturers, or you were seeking for such a story and have an exclusive right for its coverage?
It depends on the product, but in this case with the Aston Martin, we chased it. We wanted to find it because this car is not available to the press in general, so we sort of hunted it down. But there are, with other cars, there are situations where they will approach us and say, hey, we're about to launch this product, would you like to come and look at it and drive it, review it? But we kind of know anyway. I mean, nothing is a real surprise to us, occasionally, but nothing's really a surprise to us because once you follow the spy photographs and you talk to the right executives and you hear the rumour mill and things come through, you know the product is going to be announced before it's announced. So it's not really a surprise, but yeah, sometimes I'll come to you, but in this case, very much so. We went and chased them down, yeah.
We will, of course, let our audience read more in this article about the car, and we'll move to the other car, which is a Bentley. There's also a special story about it. Tell us about the ice driving experience of Bentley.
That was a bit of fun. I managed to get a few days with Bentley up in the Arctic Circle earlier this year in January.
Unique experience.
Amazingly unique experience, and it's something that's available to Bentley customers. It's not cheap. It's 40 to 50,000 dirham for about 4 or 5 days of adventure. But what you do though is that you have the chance to spend times with a person like a guy called Juha Kankinen. He's a 4-time world rally champion. He set the world land speed record on ice in a Bentley Continental GT of 303 kilometres per hour. And he instructs you with his drivers on how to drive on ice. Now, it may not sound relevant to our region, but you'd be surprised how similar driving on ice and driving on sand really is. It's just a fun way to do it, and it's great fun. It's on 80 kilometres of frozen ice lake. You've got these cars, away you go. It's beautiful accommodation, and it's a nice thing to do for Bentley customers.
We're talking about luxurious cars, and definitely for each car there is a customer, there is a consumer, or there is a targeted customer. Who are the customers, or who are the people who would be interested and able to buy the Bentley?
I guess the main customers for a brand like Bentley are more self-made people who are quite wealthy, rather than people who have perhaps inherited their money. A Bentley is very much a driver's car. It's not a car that you get a chauffeur to take you around in. And we're talking cars of starting prices of around 1 million dirhams and then going upwards. So yeah, we are talking about people who might want to consider a yacht, a chauffeur-driven car, which would be whether it be a Rolls-Royce or a Maybach or something like that. They're all sort of in the target market. But the difference between, I guess, a Bentley owner is someone who drives themselves. It's a fairly even mix of Emirati local people and expats from around the Gulf and from Europe and Asia. It's a very universal brand, but essentially, yeah, it's self-made wealthy individuals.
You mentioned the Rolls-Royce, and there's a feature story about the Rolls-Royce Ghost. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
That was a chance to get behind the wheel of the Rolls-Royce Ghost. It's a new model that's come out from Rolls-Royce. As you can imagine, it doesn't happen all that often that Rolls-Royce releases a new car. Not only is it a new car, it's a completely new category for the marque. They've traditionally sold just in the very premium high end of the market, which they still have with the car called the Phantom. This has come out below that as an entry-level model to attract new customers into Rolls-Royce ownership. So they're looking at people in their 40s to 50s age group who have never driven a Rolls-Royce before. And that becomes because of their relationship with BMW. They have economies of scale. They can build the car. It's based uses a lot of components off the 7 Series BMW. So it does have the economies of scales, but it's a delightful car to drive. Still feels like a Rolls Royce, completely silent inside when you're driving along. It has all the luxuries, massive amount of room inside. Beautiful car.
Our last story with you is about the the Land Rover rally. Can you tell us more about it, please?
Yeah, that's a really great concept. It's a bunch of British RAF military people who have been injured in war, and it's a way for them to build their confidence back up. And so most of them are actually amputees, and they've gone back to the RAF in the UK. And this is a way they've decided to get their confidence back through mobility, put them into a vehicle, and they've entered these vehicles, these Land Rover vehicles, into major rallies around the world. So the one we've covered on was their preparation for a rally in Morocco, and then after that, their goal is to do the Dakar Rally, which is the biggest off-road rally in the world, early next year. And of course, if they do that, then that ties in with the Desert Safari here locally. So we'd love to see them come over and perhaps do the Desert Safari next year. But just a great concept for guys who have been injured in service, and puts them back out there. And yeah, a really good story to cover.
Great story. I'm sure people who love cars will be interested in seeing this integration between the experience of those gentlemen and the cars that they love. I have a question related to the relationship that you have with the manufacturers. Of course, they support you. They have some manufacturers, they have ads in the magazines. How much they will influence the editorial, especially if you have a specific opinion or a negative opinion about a car, how would they react towards that?
I guess primarily is that they don't have any influence over the editorial that we produce, and we're lucky in that regard, in that Autocar is such a great brand. Initially from the UK, it's been around for 100 years. As it literally was a magazine produced to write about the very first car that was made over 100 years ago. So it has a huge history behind that. We're lucky to have picked that up and run that in the Middle East. But with that comes the editorial integrity that the manufacturers don't give us pressure to do it. I mean, they'd love to see positive reviews, but the thing is, if they see a negative review about their car, and you know they are in there, there's no question about that. But of course, you get the phone calls saying, why was this negative, etc., etc. But the way we like to put it to them is say, well, you know then that the reviews are genuine, so that when you do get a positive review, it means so much more than perhaps just something that might be a supplement or an addition to the magazine. It's the power of good editorial. And so, you know, they win some, they lose some, but that's the benefit of when they do see a glowing review or a nice review about their car.
The negative review would be also an adding value review, because sometimes they need to take those reviews into considerations and make changes in the next versions or revisions.
Of course,
in the car.
And that has happened. Definitely, that has happened. We've gone back and had meetings with management over particular stories or cars or that whatever, and they've actually gone back once or twice and made modifications to the next generation of cars that have come through.
Well, I want to wish you luck in driving all those luxurious cars. You have a big privilege, but I'm sure you deserve it. Thank you so much, Damian, for being with us and for sharing all this valuable information about the cars and Autocar issue for this month.
Great. Thanks very much.
من مجلة أوتوكار اخترنا لكم هاللقطات من بعض السباقات المحلية بدبي وأبو ظبي. خلينا نتصفحها سوا.
ضمن بطولة ميني انديورنس تشامبيونشيب 2012 استهل فريق باتيلكو رحلة الدفاع عن لقبه بفوز صعب ومهم في الجولة الأولى التي احتضنتها حلبة كاردروم في دبي، وكان اختبار صعب وسط مشاركة قوية لحشد كبير ضم أبرز السائقين وأقوى الفرق المحلية والإقليمية. ننتقل إلى حلبة دبي أوتودروم، والتي شهدت أحداث الجولة الثامنة من بطولة الإمارات الوطنية لسباقات السيارات عبر بوابة الجولة السادسة من سباقات توتال الإمارات تورينغ سكارز، والجولة السادسة من سباقات موتور سيتي الإمارات للدراجات الرياضية، والجولة السابعة من بطولة NJKJT الإمارات، والجولة السادسة من بطولة مازراتي تروفيو الشرق الأوسط، والجولة الخامسة من بطولة FJ1000، وأحداث الجولة الخامسة أيضاً من كأس سوزوكي سويفت.
أنا رح تابع قراءة مجلة أوتوكار وبترككن مع فاصل صغير، ما تتركونا. نرجع معكم هلأ مع فقرة الصحافة العالمية. لهالفقرة اخترت لكم مجلة كوندي ناست ترافيلر، وهي مجلة تعنى بأمور السفر، بالإضافة إلى التقارير المكتوبة والمصورة حول أفضل الأماكن والأماكن الفريدة بالعالم. بتصنف المجلة أيضا وجهات السفر والخدمات من فنادق، شركة طيران ومطاعم. مصدر التصنيف بالمقام الأول هو قراء هالمجلة، وفي جوائز بتعطيها المجلة تسمى Readers Choice Award. رح نتصفح المجلة أونلاين معكم على سايت cntraveler.com. مننتقل هلأ لمجلة فوربس اللي اخترنا لكم منها قائمة بأثرياء العالم الأكبر سنا. خلونا نتعرف عليهم.
ترتيب أكبر 10 أثرياء سناً لعام 2012 جاء على الشكل التالي: والتر هافنر العمر 101 بلغت ثروته 4.3 مليار دولار. ديفيد روكفيلر العمر 96 بلغت ثروته 2.5 مليار دولار. كيركوريان العمر 94 بلغت ثروته 3.3 مليار دولار. ألبرت يولتشي العمر 94 بلغت ثروته 1.9 مليار دولار. كارلو لاستشيك العمر 94 بلغت ثروته 4.7 مليار دولار. هنري هيلمان العمر 93 بلغت ثروته 2.2 مليار دولار. سليمان الراشحي العمر 92 بلغت ثروته 5.9 مليار دولار. كارل ألبريخت العمر 92 بلغت ثروته 25.4 مليار دولار. آن كوكس تشامبرس العمر 92 بلغت ثروتها 12.5 مليار دولار. جورج ميتشل 92 وبلغت ثروته 2.2 مليار دولار.
منتابع مع فقرة لايف ستايل ومع ملف خاص بموضة الرجل اخترنا لكم إياها من مجلة اسكواير ماجازين. لهون منكون وصلنا لختام حلقتنا من برنامج مجلات .com. انتظرونا بحلقة السبت المقبل. معي أنا أنطونيو وتصبحوا على ألف خير.